We should all read more good books on manners and etiquette, and Just Good Manners is an excellent place to start. You're probably already familiar with the author William Hanson from his many viral videos on this and other platforms.
How to eat chips, or if you're transatlantically inclined, French fries.
And if you like those, I think you'll enjoy the book. In fact, I'd recommend it because your little lizard brain, just like mine, can't really do a good job internalizing information when you doom scroll 200 videos in an hour. Now, in case your nose turns up at the mention of words like manners and etiquette, let me just throw out that all cultures, all groups have their own internal codes of conduct, from the meanest of the mean streets all the way up to the ballrooms of Buckingham Palace. Yes, Hanson is focused on classic British etiquette, but the fact that those codes are associated with a long history of classism, racism, sexism, and every other problematic ism you can think of does not mean that there aren't good values and lessons to learn from them. In particular, I appreciate the work that Hanson is doing to teach us the rules, provide the history behind them, and then update them from a modern perspective. How do you formally address a non-binary individual? Or, now that we're trying to reach gender parity, how do we handle the old conventions around seating or naming or processions? Those are good questions worth looking at with a 2020s mindset. At their heart, good manners and etiquette are about navigating the world wherever we happen to find ourselves in it with grace, and especially setting those around us, kith, kin, and stranger alike, at ease. Also, it's all made up. For example, I might look like Grandpapa could never pick which boat to take out sailing, but I am a first-generation wannabe wasp with the blood of, Irish bog walkers and West Virginia hill people coursing through my veins. And growing up in Bucalla, Connecticut, I had to pay a lot of attention to the old bloods around me to figure out what they were doing and why they were doing it in order to fit in. What makes good etiquette guidance work, in my opinion, and what Hanson has clearly mastered, is that lighthearted, tongue-in-cheek approach that you can adopt when you realize it's all made up. He's funny with it because he recognizes that all of these little rules and practices are, on one hand, completely ridiculous, and on the other hand, the most important things in the world, because the fact is, people will always fall to norms of how to interact with each other. Us etiquette people just want it to be thoughtful, well-intentioned, conscientious forms. Now, you have to master your own destiny here and learn what to pick and choose from the buffet of practices and manners. Plus, like any good expert, you have to learn the rules well enough to know when to break them. Hanson, for example, by his own admission, is not a fan of weddings, so I will forgive him when he says a gentleman should never take off his tuxedo at a black tie event, because I don't imagine he's been called to service on the dance floor after his third martini in the hot heat of a Cartagena night. That is a point at which if you keep your jacket on, you will set others around you ill at ease. Some other considerations with the book. It is heavily focused on British manners, but Hanson does a nice job contextualizing those relative to continental European and American practices. Personally, the only thing I would have liked to have seen added to it would be like doodles. Like, I'm a sucker for the Tiffany's table manner doodles that you see, and look at the cover art. Like, clearly they had some stuff to work with here. But all in, I think this is a much needed addition to the canon of etiquette books, as we constantly look to pull what is best and timeless from the old ways while updating them based off of the values that we're lucky enough to live today.